됐습니다.
Hello, fellow citizens of the Republic of Korea. Do you know that many people around us are suffering from brain hacking, mind control, electromagnetic torture, and stalking? Electromagnetic waves can be used to manipulate a person's brain at will and inflict pain. However, ordinary people do not know this, and currently there are no legal regulations in our country. Then, wouldn't those who are in position to use it be tempted to so whenever they please? Even now, there are many things that people do as they please despite the law that exists. If so, couldn't you also easily become a victim of brain hacking, mind control, or electromagnetic torture, either now or in the future? Just like saying, I won't get COVID, thinking I have nothing to do with electromagnetic weapon is not valid. As one of the countless victims, I stand here today to protect the human rights and free will of our future. For reference, I currently work in the engine and machinery business planning department at HD Hyundai Heavy Industries, and my major is mechanical engineering. I mention this to emphasize that what I will say is not baseless or fabricated. Do you know about MK Ultra project? It was secret mind control experiment conducted by the CIA in the early Cold War era. It began in 1953 and was discontinued after 1973. Later, it triggered serious controversies in the United States and abroad regarding human rights violation, ethical misconduct. The people's background was the U.S. efforts to counter the brainwashing techniques believed to be possessed by the Soviet Union, China, and North Korea. It aimed to strengthen psychological warfare and intelligence gathering capabilities by finding ways to control and manipulate human behavior and thought. Experiment involved LSD, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, sleep deprivation, drug administration, and electric shocks. As a result, many secret experiments were conducted without the subject consent, and some suffered irreversible physical and psychological harm. The existence of MK Ultra was first officially revealed in 1975 by the U.S. Senator Church Committee, and on October 3, 1995, President Bill Clinton issued a formal apology regarding MK Ultra related human rights abuses, stating, when the government does something that is wrong, we have to admit it. That is the only way to build trust for the future. What was done should never happen again. This technology has since been passed down and continued to be developed as a core technologies. Since the 2020s, many countries have actively discussed neural rights, the protection of privacy related to brain information. Although what I am saying may sound like a conspiracy theory, today's advancements in neuroscience, AI, electronics, and military technology shows that related research indeed ongoing, and some aspects have already been partially implemented. Based on this, I will explain 4 items that are being researched and developed in reality. First is memory hacking, technology that can read, delete, alter, or insert memories stored in the brain. Second is mind reading, analyzing the brain's electronic activity in real time to interpret unspoken thoughts, images, and intention. Third is mind control, the manipulation of thought and behavior. This refers to technologically inducing or altering human emotions, judgment, decisions, and actions. It is one of the most ethically, politically sensitive fields. Fourth is transmitting images and sound directly into brain. It is possible to stimulate the brain from external devices to induce the perception of visual or auditory signals. In addition, through VR neural feedback, it is already technically possible to inject intended images and emotions by analyzing brain waves together with sensory feedback. Now, I would like to explain technologies that are officially introduced and applied in the real world, as well as the direction of technological development in the near future. The technologies that are not openly disclosed, but are currently being developed and tested, are truly chilling. After this, I will also share my own actual experiences as a victim. So I ask for your careful attention. Ladies and gentlemen, what is truly frightening is the combination of neuroscience and wireless communication and AI. AI has advanced to the point of learning brainwaves pattern, visualize fMRI data, and language signals, enabling it to interpret or predict a person's thought. Based on these implanted or acquired thinking patterns of an individual, it is even capable of predicting behavior. And recent studies show that Wi-Fi can detect a person's heart rate, breathing, location, and behavioral changes. MIT's YVI technology has successfully detected human movement through wall. So, can the brain be hacked through Wi-Fi? Officially, customized psychological manipulation through Wi-Fi and smart device network hacking has already been partially realized, and experts suggest that full realization will be technically feasible in the future. Next is nano mind, magnetogenetic interface for neurodynamics, a technology developed by Korean researchers IBS and Yonsei University. This technology is the world's first non-invasive wireless method to achieve mind control, gaining worldwide attention. The core technology involves inserting magnetically responsive nanoparticle into specific neuron in genetic format. When an external rotating magnetic field is applied, the nanoparticles spin and selectively stimulate the target neuron. Experimental results show that researchers successfully induced maternal behavior in motherless female mice, so they would care for their pups, increased or decreased appetite, and enhance social bonding behavior. Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that numerous patents exist today related to satellites, remote wireless network, and brain connection, PCI? Why do such patents exist? They were developed and patented because someone intends to use them. First, patent related to brain-computer data communication through wireless chips. Implant and external relay devices are increasing. There are also patents for satellite-based remote brain monitoring and stimulation system. Looking at US patents, early and fundamental wireless brain waves communication patents have existed since the 2020s. First, satellite therapy delivery system for brain neuromodulation. This is a patent for brain stimulation and sensing via satellite. Second, wireless brain-computer interface implantable. This is a patent for an implantable wireless interface between the brain and a computer. Next, cell phone-based wireless and mobile brain-machine interface. This is a patent for brain-computer interface using mobile phones. And moreover, looking at recent development in China, Huawei has filed patent for method for controlling a stimulator brain-computer interface system and chips. In addition, Shanghai's Neurogest, together with the Huashan Hospital research team, publicly reported performing real patient trials using their self-development 256-channel flexible implant type PCI for motor and speech decoding. Everything I have explained so far has been publicly released and officially acknowledged technology. What is being developed unofficially behind closed doors is far more sophisticated and far more advanced. And the proof is this: I myself am being used as an illegal human experiment subject. I am the living evidence. Just by combining the publicly known technology I previously mentioned, if nano-mind technology is used to inject or administer magnetic nanoparticle into people, and then AI and neuroscience and wireless communication technology are applied through Wi-Fi, it became possible to hack the brain, read thought, implant thought, control behavior, input and output auditory and visual information, monitor past memories, induce physical pain and or disease, and gain full control over all five senses. Already through Wi-Fi, the infrastructure exists to potentially control every company, employees, even citizen, even voter, every person on the planet. The only question is how quickly and how many people can be synchronized at once through radio waves. If a dictator, a totalitarian group, or malicious corporation obtain this technology, supported by wealth and organizational power, this is not impossible at all. The evidence is seen in me, in many others who have been made into illegal human test subjects, suffering from brain hacking, mind control, electromagnetic torture, and stalking. There are victim communities and online forums everywhere. One such dumb community has 4,497 members. Another has 712 members, and several similar groups exist. Do you think these people join such group because they have nothing better to do? I myself am being experimented in my workplace, my home, in my home, above and below my home. Through brain hacking, mind control, electromagnetic torture, sufferings every single day. If this continues, it is only a matter of time before you become a victim. And soon after, even the perpetrators themselves will become victims. Everyone must wake up now. With invisible technology like this, turning all workers and all citizens into slaves easier than you can imagine. In a community stage, if this technology becomes highly developed and enslaving the entire population, become effortless. If someone like Hitler were to rise again today and obtain this technology with AI, Wi-Fi, and a supercomputer, it is not impossible that he could turn not only his own people, but the entire world into slaves beneath his feet. Let me imagine from the perspective of malicious corporation or authoritarian ruler, how they would virtually plan the enslavement of workers and citizens. This way, we can be prepared. First, let us consider the case of malicious large-scale corporate owner. They would first contact the relevant intelligence agency to acquire the technology. Then they would mix nanoparticles or nanorobots into company cafeteria food so that workers ingest them without knowing. Next, they would install company-wide dedicated Wi-Fi network and use Wi-Fi signals and nanorobots to synchronize workers individually. Through brain-computer interface connection with computers, they would begin monitoring employees' thoughts, hack memories, control thoughts and actions. In the worst cases, induce illness. First, they enslave the executive and managers. Then, they target the militant labor union. And next, the problematic workers. Finally, they enslave the entire workforce. With a single finger, they can turn all employees into obedient slaves. Labor disputes would disappear forever. Anyone who speaks up or resists would be isolated, subject to electromagnetic torture, induced illness, and mind control so that they cannot label. This is exactly what has happened to me. And this is exactly what will happen to you. Let us just imagine the scenario from the perspective of a national dictator or totalitarian political parties. To apply this technology to entire population, they would first co-opt a major national food company and nano-robots into food products. Or they would co-opt a vaccine manufacturer like during COVID and add a nano-robot into vaccines. These substances would not be detected through standard blood tests. Next, they would partner with telecommunication companies to synchronize the entire population through Wi-Fi and later through personal mobile phone. Or supercomputers connected to the BCI network would then control the entire populace. During election, they could force people to vote for specific candidate or party, establishing permanent rule and turning the nation into a dictatorship. There would be no mass protest left in the country. Think carefully. Why would such technology be created? And why would so many illegal human experiments be conducted on unwilling test subjects? Before it is too late, everything must be exposed, and these technologies must be strictly legislated and controlled. Hesitate for even a moment. Is it real or not? And everyone become a victim. To the perpetrators, your children will suffer the same fate. This is not something they laugh about or enjoy. There is not much time left. As AI advances, the remaining time decreases proportionally. Most of the remaining time decreases proportionally. Most of the remaining technology are almost complete. It is only a matter of time. What once took months will soon take hours, then minutes to synchronize a person's neural data and extract their five senses information and memories through Wi-Fi over their own mobile phone. And the proof is me, so-called test subject. In 2018, I was sent by Hyundai Heavy Industry to Shanghai for 6 months assignment, but because of electromagnetic torture, I was forced to return after only 3.5 months. About 2 months into my assignment, I was tortured by electronic waves from someone living in the hotel above me. I changed hotels twice, but they followed me and continued the electromagnetic torture. At the workplace in Shanghai, my computer was repeatedly hacked. I endured the agony until I eventually returned after 3.5 months. Humor spread in the company that I came back due to homesickness. Since 2018 until today, I have been subjected to the same kind of electromagnetic harassment by a man, Seo who lives in the apartment of mine and is a retiree from Hyundai Heavy Industries. And I have repeatedly suffered high energy attacks that damaged my skin. My head aches every day. Sometimes I wake up at night shocked and in pain after my eye is struck by the electromagnetic wave. Now, let me explain the type of harms experienced not only by me, but many other victims. First, surveillance. Since returning from Shanghai in 2018, my workplace team has monitored me constantly, and my computer is hacked, operating by itself. When I thought myself, who is doing this? Someone nearby raised his hand, and when I got up to go to the restroom, they seemed to know in advance, and people assigned to stand guard in the corridor take turns walking toward me and say or do something. This has been going on entire year. Recently, they even talk indirectly to each other as if they want me to hear, taking turn on their long. Making all kinds of threats, they say things that only extremely vicious criminal would dare to say. Even on my personal computer, PC, ever since I returned from Shanghai, I have been hacked continuously for 7 years. I have reported it more than 100 times to the company's security and computer call center, but nothing has been fixed. Almost every day, the computer moves on its own. The letters change or something else happens due to hacking. The situation I'm facing at work is completely isolated and cornered. They intervene in everything I do. They intervene in everything I do, try to control me and give me headache, chest pain, and other forms of torture. When I talk about this to people around me, they pretend not to know or brush it off. Secondly, there is visual information surveillance. When I'm at work, at home, even outdoor, when no one is around, they somehow know what I saw and talk about it the next day. Sometimes I even get phone call in real time as if they know exactly what I am looking at or what environment I am in. This is hacking of visual information. Third, they manipulate thought. This includes psychological manipulation, subconscious manipulation, and adjustment of emotion and feelings. When they manipulate many thoughts, it causes brain resonance or synchronization, which leads to headaches. When they hack my brain's memory, I became lethargic or sleepy. Most morning when I go to work, I feel mentally foggy. Sometimes I see signs with phrases that related exactly what I have been thinking, and this happens quite frequently. And when I'm working at the company, sometimes they make me suddenly say something unconsciously that relates to their interest. First, they control my action. Once, on a business trip from Ulsan to Changwon, my steering wheel was controlled and my tire burst after hitting the roadside curb. Before sleeping on a bed after cursed at perpetrators inwardly, they controlled my arms and made me hit my own head like this. Tips, there are hallucinogens, visual, auditory, and olfactory. At night, I once saw a square white geometric figure. I often hear voices that obviously come from someone with a purpose, voices that criticize or restrict certain behaviors. Physical torture has continued since 2018, when I was in China, caused by Seo Yeon-seop, who lives upstairs, and other people around the apartment and workplaces. I constantly suffer from headaches, for wrong erections in men as torture. I have heard that in the case of women, they suffer electromagnetic sexual torture as well. The perpetrators are those giving the orders do not consider victims human beings. I am telling you what I have personally experienced. Also, the hacking of my computer and mobile phone has been happening every single day during the same period as the brain hacking. At work, at home, everywhere, stalkers have continuously followed me as well. While creating Excel files at work, I often saw the cursor moving by itself, letters, and while creating Excel letters and numbers changing or completed file disappearing. My apartment and car have frequently been broken into, and reporting in to the police and filing complaints many times have been useless. I often lamented that I could not receive the protection from the law. People like me are internationally called TI, targeted individual. Since 2018, I have filed complaints and petitions thousands of times with every related organization in Korea, but there has been no progress over face-to-face questioning because there is no related law in Korea. In the United States in 2001, Congressman Kucinich from Richmond introduced the Space Preservation Act, which sought to ban such technologies. In Russia, Federal Law number 103, enacted on July 26, 2001, prohibits the use of lethal weapons that cause psychological or physical impact using electromagnetic waves, infrared, ultrasound, infrasound. I will show you photos that materials about what I mentioned earlier. This photo shows infants and girls who were subject of MK Ultra project. This is a newspaper article about the MK Ultra project carried out by the CIA. This photo showed a female victim who suffered skin burn on her face and body due to directed energy weapons. And this illustration is an example diagram of such weapon. And these photos showed protests around the world, both in the East and West, calling for a ban on electromagnetic weapons. Here is a photo taken in Japan. And here is even one taken in front of UN building. This is in front of the UN building. This is the 2001 US Space Preservation Act, which proposed banning electromagnetic weapons, psychological manipulation weapons, and weather control weapons. And this is a Russian law enacted in 2001 that bans non-lethal weapon, electromagnetic waves, ultrasound, infrasound that negatively affect human mental or physical health, as well as devices that influence the nervous system or psychological state, with criminal penalties for illegal use. These are screenshots of the petitions and complaints I submitted dozens of times to the National Human Rights Commission and the prosecution and justice minister and the police and through the 신문고 petition system. Finally, this is a capture of the number of members in the victims' community. So now, I believe you can understand that the technology of brain hacking and mind control and directed energy torture truly exists. Do you think brain hacking and mind control are necessary to restrain socially maladjusted people or those who cannot be controlled by law? Are you really that naive? would you give a nuclear weapon missile button to elementary school troublemaker? I don't know how exactly how many people, how many percentage of the population, how many percentage of the employees in my company are being subjected to brain hacking, mind control, directed energy, torture, and stalking. But I know the number is tremendous. You too may already be a victim. I swear on everything I have that harm I have described to you so far is not alright, but true. Do you know why God allowed good and evil to coexist in this world? Because He gifted humanity with free will, the most precious gift, so that we could choose between good and evil. But these forces of evil are trying to take away our free will and manipulate us. And they want to take the place of God. Will you simply watch until the day you become their slaves? Let us join hands, move forward. We must lift up a world that is falling into ruin. If we come together, raise public awareness to make laws, we can stop this. Recognizing this problem is the beginning of solving the grave issue. And then we must act. Now is the time. The forces evil cleverly deliver your thoughts and attention elsewhere. Let us join hands and go together. If we do it together, we can make it. Thank you for your listening.
Who are you checking?